Hey YouTube, welcome back to Cassandra's Kitchen where I eat to live and I live to eat. Today I'm going to be making an Asian broccoli and mushroom stir fry over some brown rice. Simply delicious. So if you're interested in seeing my recipe, stay tuned and I'll show you. All right, guys, here's the ingredients that we're gonna need to make our Asian broccoli and mushroom stir fry. So you're gonna need some broccoli florets. So I had frozen. I just cleaned them really good. So you can cut them down kind of small or you can leave them pretty big, but you want your broccoli florets. We're gonna use some fresh carrots. I have some fresh ginger and garlic I'm gonna use, and then I had the big portobello mushrooms. I just cut them down. You can use the baby bellas as well, but I like the bigger mushrooms because this is gonna substitute more like a meat, like like a beef and broccoli type of stir fry. So that's why I got the bigger ones, because I like the more meatier taste. And I'm gonna be a little creative, put a little chickpeas in there. I got some cashew and pistachios. I'm going to be using some toasted sesame seed oil. I'm going to be using a little bit of soy sauce. And I'm going to be using a little bit of cornstarch, which is, you don't have to, but if you want your sauce to be a little thicker, you can use the cornstarch there. For our rice, what we're going to do, I'm using the organic brown rice by Four Sisters. To season my rice, I'm using the Better Than Bouillon vegan. This is the roasted garlic base. It's the lighter version. I like that. And some minced onions, dehydrated onions. That's what we're going to use to season our rice. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, and I'm going to put a little smoked paprika in my rice. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is get my rice cleaned. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm using a rice cooker. So if you got a rice cooker, it works perfect. If not, you can cook your rice however. But you want to go ahead and get your rice on the stove. And then we'll come back, and I'll show you how to saute these. So let me go ahead and get my rice cleaned. All right, so I have 2 cups of brown rice in here. If you're using a rice cooker, you know it's actually 2 rice measures. It's a little slightly different than a regular measuring cup, but I got 2 rice measures in my rice cooker, and it says for brown rice, 3 cups of water, cooks for about 28 to 30 minutes. So I'm just gonna sprinkle just a little bit of smoked paprika down in my rice. And then I'm gonna I love cooking with the minced onions. I put this in mainly all of my rices, even my Spanish rice, that I'm have to come back and do a video on. The Spanish rice is really good, but I love using the dried onions in my rice. It just gives it a really nice flavor. So I'm just gonna sprinkle quite a bit, maybe a tablespoon and a half of those. Get that mixed in here. And then I'm going to use the Better Than Bouillon base. This seasons everything, so I don't have to put any other sodium in. So it's about a tablespoon of the Better Than Bouillon. I'm just going to get that mixed down in my rice. Everything's paired together here. Just going to give it a nice flavor. Okay, and then all I do is just kind of taste my juice. And it's good. It's not going to be over salty or anything like that. So, all right. So I'm going to put the lid on this. Let this cook. The time it said 28 to 30 minutes for the rice. And then we're going to head over to the stove and we're going to go ahead and start sauteing our veggies. So we got our wok nice and hot. And one thing I did forget to show y'all when I was doing my ingredients is my onions. You definitely cannot have stir fry without an onion. So some of y'all might have just tuned me out right there, like, she ain't got no onions. But no, I just didn't have my onions sitting over there to show you guys. So we're doing, I got 1 medium onion chopped up there. And I'll go ahead and get my mushrooms in here. And again, we're not going to add no seasoning to this as of right now because we're going to be using soy in our toasted sesame seed for our seasoning, for our top or flavoring to go on top of it. So kind of let this cook a little bit until the onions gets a little translucent, and we're just going to kind of cook this down. So the wok will get nice and hot. And then what we're going to do towards the end, we're going to put in our garlic and our ginger, so we don't want to overcook our garlic and ginger. But we'll put that in a moment. Right now, we're just going to go ahead and put our mushrooms and our onions sit here. And then we're going to put our broccoli, and our broccoli is pretty much done. You know, it's frozen broccoli, so we're just going to put this in there. We don't want it to be mushy, so this will be one of the last things we put in there as well, so we can keep the nice crispiness to the broccoli. Unless you're using fresh broccoli, mine was frozen, then of course you want to put it in there just a little bit earlier so that it'll cook. But this is what we're doing now. Gonna let this cook for a second. And while this is cooking, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to show you how to make the sauce that we're going to put over top of this to get all the flavors down in there. Alright, so for the sauce, we're going to be using the toasted sesame seed oil. This is 100% pure toasted sesame seed. You want to make sure you get toasted and not regular sesame seed because it's not going to taste the same. We're going to put a half a cup of sesame seed oil in here, along with a half a cup of soy sauce. I got organic soy sauce. You can use what's that other stuff I used to use, babe? The amino acids, the Bragg's. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the Bragg's aminos.
Yeah, you can use liquid aminos. You can use that as well. So half a cup and half a cup. We should be at a cup. Okay, that's a cup right there. So we got our soy, and we have our that. And then just for a little thickening, we're going to put just a little bit of cornstarch in there. Because I don't want it to be runny. I want it to have a thickening to it. So about a good teaspoon, well, I'll say a good tablespoon of the cornstarch. And just give that a good mix and have this ready to set aside. And we're going to pour this over top our mixture and finish off the saute with this. That's all we're going to need for the seasoning. I'm going to need a fork to break that up in there really good. But that's all you're going to do. Just get this mixed up really good. And this is what we're going to use for our stir fry. All right, so now, see, it's cooked down here. We're going to go ahead and get our broccoli in here. And we're going to go ahead and get our ginger and garlic also in there. Okay. And I'm going to just sprinkle, I like a little heat. I'm going to put a little bit of crushed red pepper. Not a lot. I'm going to go ahead and get my nuts in here. So I'm using cashew nuts. I'm going to break them just a little bit because I don't want them too whole. So you can just kind of crunch them down a little bit. Or you can leave them whole. I'm just going to do a little crunch. Cashew nuts are really soft, so you can just easily break those up. And this is optional. Some people like crunch, some people don't. And I had cashew nuts along with a few pistachios. We're just going to get that down in there. Like I said, this is quick and easy, and we're coming towards the end of this. And last but not least, while this is cooking, I'm going to turn my wok up just a little bit here. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to do a little bit of carrots in here. Actually, I'm not going to do it that way. Bear with me a moment. So we're going to grate a little bit of carrot. I'm just going to use my grater. Put some carrots down in here. All right, plenty of carrots. Okay. This is looking good already. Look at that. And right now, we don't have no seasoning in here But again, this is what this is for, because it's got our toasted sesame seed, it's got our soy sauce, and it's got a little bit of the cornstarch so it can thicken it. And this is what we're going to pour over top of that. This is our sauce. And as it cooks down, let it get real good and hot. It'll start to thicken up some. My wok is just cooling off a little bit with that, but we're just going to let this cook for probably another 5 minutes. And this is all you're going to have to do. And I'm telling you, the flavor is going to be delicious. So let's get that cooking. We're just going to let that sit and cook for a few more moments, and then we'll take it off and we'll be putting this over our rice. Okay, last thing, guys, I almost forgot, was my chickpeas. We put these last because these are already, we want to keep our chickpeas kind of crunchy as well. We don't want them to be overcooked. So you put them in towards the end as well with everything else. But let's see how that's starting to thicken up there. And this is just a bowl of goodness. Like, mushrooms are good for you. They're good inflammatory vegetables. Chickpeas are good for you. They're high alkaline. Onions are good for you. And broccolis are good. Everything that I have in here is just really wholesome, and it's going to be delicious. And so can you imagine this? See how thick it's getting over a nice bed of rice? So when you add that cornstarch in here, it thickens it up. And you don't have to use cornstarch. You can also use spelt flour. Mix a little spelt flour in there if you want to. But I just use the cornstarch. But this is pretty much it, guys. That's all we want to do. Like I said, you don't want to overcook your chickpeas, so you always want to put those in last along with your vegetables. But that's all we're going to do. Now we're going to get this over our rice. All right, y'all. So like I said, very quick and easy. My broccoli and mushroom Asian dish. I did it in my wok here. Look at that. Just, it looks delicious here. And then we have our brown rice over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to plate everything up. And today I have a special guest here with me. I have my sisters in the house and my nieces in the house. Y'all may have heard a little commotion that came in moments while I was videoing, because they came back unexpectedly. So I said, since y'all here, y'all gonna be in Cassandra's kitchen. So y'all come on over here into Cassandra's kitchen. Miss Alani, this is my niece Alani, my beautiful niece Alani, who's here visiting, and my lovely sister. So y'all ready to taste this? And I'm gonna set this disclaimer: they are not vegan, y'all. So I want y'all to see somebody who's not vegan have them judge my food. I said, oh, y'all right on time. Y'all can judge my food. So does this look good? It look like you get something from an Asian shop. It's broccoli, mushrooms, onions, chickpeas. I got a little bit of cashew and pistachios down in here, some garlic, some ginger, little carrots. Yeah, no, it's gonna be delicious. So, and my rice, y'all. Brown rice takes forever to cook. Y'all know that I've had this cooking for quite some time, so I'm hoping it's done, but we're gonna see. Because I want to go ahead and get this video. So I got my rice here. It's getting there, but we're gonna go ahead and get some rice. I think it could cook just a little bit longer, but we're just gonna do this taste test, and if the rice needs to cook a little longer, y'all just say, don't talk about it, okay? But we're gonna go ahead and do this, because this is the main thing. Everybody knows how to cook rice, but we're gonna go ahead and get this on here. Look at that, y'all. Y'all use chopsticks? I don't. You don't? Y'all want a fork? Okay. Okay, I'm putting them on the spot, y'all. So, you know, I got my chopsticks. Yeah, no, we're going to do chopsticks. So, here you go. Here's a fork for you. There's a fork for you, Alani. And I'm going to get y'all something, a napkin. And I want y'all honest opinion. So, just taste it and let the audience know what it tastes like. It's hot, so don't burn your tongues and then y'all be mad at me. I am not responsible. Y'all hear that? I am not responsible. Isn't that hot? Okay. It's good. It's good. So you going back in? You can go that deep dive in again? So you deep dive in again too? So, is there any particular flavors that's jumping out at you, or anything, or is it
ginger?
Ginger. I did get fresh ginger in there. I got some fresh ginger and some taste. And especially with the toasted sesame seed. That kind of gives you that little hint with a little bit of soy sauce. So, okay, y'all. These are my non-vegans. My sister and my niece that said they enjoyed it. Y'all would purchase this if y'all had to. Y'all eat it again. So try it, y'all. This is my Asian broccoli and mushroom stir fry over brown rice. And if you like it, you know what to do, y'all. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. And of course, share the video. And if you haven't already subscribed to Cassandra's Kitchen, what are you waiting on? Subscribe. And until next time, from Cassandra's Kitchen to yours, be blessed. We love you. Peace. Bye-bye now.